car, SUV, or truck, guess what? You're in luck. Frontier Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead country.
Yes, indeed. Don Parker here, welcoming you to another Frontier Motors show, where you can get the value of a car or a truck or an SUV that you may be thinking of buying or selling or trading in. Well, how can you do that? Well, of course, you can go to Frontier Motors at 230 Beverly Parkway, or for the next 30 minutes, you can call us. You can call us at 478-3116 here at WCOA. You'll have the opportunity of talking with Ivan Struckel, who is the owner of that fine establishment, which, of course, we call Frontier Motors. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. And I am Frontier Motors, owner of, I am Frontier Motors. This is Ivan Struckel, and we are the largest independent dealer on the Gulf Coast. And if you have a car that's in above average condition, I invite you to click the link below, and we will get back to you with a fair appraisal value of your car. One of the things that we've been doing at Frontier Motors, and by the way, Don, also, I forgot to mention, this is a COA live radio show, and we're also videotaping this for our Blab TV customers. So if you are driving down the road, listening to this on the radio, you can call in by dialing 478-3116, and again, that is 478-3116, and I can give you the value of your car. If you're watching this on TV, right now, this is a pre-recorded show. You can still get to Frontier Motors by dialing the phone number on your screen. We have with us the Black Wholesale Guidebooks. These are the books that normally a dealership is not going to want to share with you, because this is what is going on at the auction, which is a wholesale guidebook. Most people are aware of this book. They just don't know where to get it. You can get it at Frontier Motors at no charge. We'd be more than happy to share the information with you. We also have with us the NADA guidebooks. These guidebooks are the books that the banks and credit unions and most of the insurance companies in our area use to give you replacement value if your car has been totaled. A couple of services that we do at Frontier Motors that you're not going to see at most dealerships. One of the biggest things that I think that we help customers with is we help them do a history report on their car without charging them. If you're in the market of buying a used car, one of the things that I would always urge you to do is get a history report. There's two providers of history reports in the nation. The largest one, of course, everybody's heard about, and that's Carfax. They do a lot of advertising. They've been in the market for a long time. They cost about $40 for a Carfax plus taxes, so it sets you back about $43. At Frontier Motors, we will run a Carfax history report at no charge for you. We also will do the auto check, which is the second largest provider of history reports. And we try to match them up just to make sure the information is the same in both venues. And we will do this at no charge for you. So if your neighbor is selling a car and they don't want to pay for a history report, just call Frontier Motors with the ID number. The other thing that also happens when we plug that ID number into our AX system, which is a dealer system that we use for appraisal values and history reports, it not only gives me the history report, but it'll also spit out the price of what that vehicle should be selling for in our area. And to me, that's very important, not only to know what the history report is like on that particular car, but also to make sure that the pricing is correct. So if your neighbor, for example, is asking $17,000 and the NADA guidebook says the vehicle's got a retail value of $20,000, that sounds like it would be a good price because it's $3,000 below retail. But what if the black book says that I can buy that same car at the auction for $14,000? Well, now we've got an issue, because if I can buy one at $14,000, I could pay the fees to bring it back here, the shipping, the auction fees, sell it for $16,000 and still make a profit. So if the neighbor is selling the vehicle for $17,000, he's just a little bit high. And what we normally do is we give you that information just to make sure that you get yourself a good deal. And by helping you get a good deal, we know that the next time you're in the market for a car, you're going to send your friends and relatives and neighbors to Frontier Motors. One of the things that I bring with us to the show, I've been doing this show for, we're going on 19 years, but Consumer Reports last month came out with a guide for depreciation, and I made a copy of it, and I really think it hits home because we've been talking at Frontier Motors for 19 years that what we do is we sell the alternative to new. So if you're thinking about buying a brand new car, we urge you to stop at Frontier Motors before you put your money down. And Consumers Report is now validating what I've been saying for 19 years, and they're saying that after the first year of of ownership on a brand new car. And last year, I'm not sure if everybody knows this or not, but the average selling price, transaction price of a new car last year in 2014 was $34,000. That was the average transaction price of a brand new car, was $34,000. The first year depreciation, according to Consumers Reports, is 27%, which equates to $9,180 depreciation in the first year. So what we do at Frontier Motors is we go out and we seek those first-year cars. We have somebody else lose the money. Don't let it be you. Whoever else bought that car, for whatever reason, they've decided to get rid of that car. It might be that the payments aren't affordable. It might be the car is too small, too big. Whatever reason, maybe they got a company car. Maybe, unfortunately, somebody in the family passed away, and they have a vehicle now they have to dispose of. And we're able to give them fair market value, but that still is going to be a depreciation of 27% in the first year, which is $9,100. And that's where we come up with our alternative to new. For example, we have a Hyundai Santa Fe on the lot right now with 606 miles. We also have a Jeep Wrangler with 1,063 miles. We have a Buick Regal with 1,000 miles on it, a Nissan Quest with 1,000 miles on it, a Nissan Rogue with 1,000 miles, a Lexus RC350, which is their new sports car. Most people don't even know what that is. I've got one on the lot with 1,200 miles on it. And we have a Ford Edge we just purchased. It has 1,600 miles on it. And of course, if you are thinking about buying a brand new Ford, we would, in our area, we would urge you to go to our local dealer, which happens to be World Ford. They've been in business for a long time, right here on Highway 29. If you're going to buy new, we always urge you to buy locally. But if you're going to compare, don't compare it to a new car dealership out of town. Compare it to Frontier Motors that has one with 1,600 miles on it. And that's what Frontier Motors' whole claim to fame is saving you that money. Now, because we have so many cars that are like brand new, we have over 150 cars on the lot with less than 20,000 miles on it. That's unbelievable. The average used car dealership in Pensacola has 35 cars on their lot. We have 150 that have less than 20,000 miles on it. Then we have a total of 370 vehicles on the lot. But that's not enough. Again, this is Ivan Streckel. I'm the owner of Frontier Motors. We're the largest independent dealer on the Gulf Coast. And if you have a car in an above average condition, we would love to get a chance to bid on that car. So click on the link below and let us give you a bid on that particular car. We sell approximately 60 cars a week, which means that I have to purchase 60 cars a week. I'd love to buy the car from a private individual where I can talk with you, get the background, get the history, make sure it's going to make our customer a good car, and I'll give you above market value for that particular car, because one of the things that we can do at Frontier Motors is our overhead is so low. We're not in Car City. We didn't buy $1 million building. We bought our place 19 years ago for $105,000, and our overhead is so low that we can match or beat the other dealer's deal / price / condition and still give you a car with the lowest miles and the most equipment that we know the background of. I love buying cars from private individuals. It just makes it so much easier when you can know the background of the car. Now, if it's a vehicle that's a 1-year-old car, we also buy our vehicles at auctions. People always say, well, aren't you scared to buy a car at auction? I'm not scared to buy a car at the auction, especially a Manheim auction, because the Manheim auction has this program called Green Light. And if you click on that Green Light program, they guarantee that car, which I can't get even when I buy it from a private individual. Now, I can talk to the private individual, look them in the eyes, and make sure they're not giving me a line. But with other car dealerships, I don't know. So what Manheim does is they can spec the vehicle before they sell it, and they give that car a rating from 1 to 5. If it's not at least a 4 or above, I don't even mess with the car. Now, a lot of dealerships like buying the cars that are below that level of 4. Again, it's kind of weird that they rate them from 1 to 5, not 1 to 10. But I'll give you an example when we talk about auctions and what happens at the auction, folks. I was looking at a Honda Accord the other day, and I didn't really know what to pay for the car. And so what I did is I did Price Driver, and I found out this is a Honda Accord Sport. I found out the most expensive one in our area. I have a program called Price Driver. It tells me every 2014 Honda Accord Sport available within 150 miles. And it says that there are 14 exact matches. The most expensive one is at AutoNation, 52 miles away. And it's a 10,000-mile one, and they're asking $25,300 for it. The interesting thing is the least expensive one is at AutoNation, 52 miles away, and it's $18,700. Now, figure this out. Why would they have the most expensive one at $25,300 3, and the least expensive one at 18.7. Now the cool thing about Honda is there's no equipment changes. Everything is standard. So these are all Honda Accord Sports 2014s. Now I do have to say that the most expensive one has 11,000 miles on. The least expensive one has 18,000 miles on, but it's still considered relatively low miles for 2014, 18,000 miles. But there's a $7,000 spread. The number one reason for that spread, because it can't be equipment, is condition. And you see this sometimes on 110 where you see the billboard with that sale price of $14,888. You ever notice that going by? I forget what the car is, and I don't want to pick on the particular dealership. But I'll tell you, that's a really good price. Just like this Honda Accord at AutoNation at 18.7 is the lowest price within 150 miles. The average selling price is around $22,000. So the same dealer has the least expensive one, also has the most expensive one. Only one reason: condition of the car. And I think a lot of times when I get a customer in, what happens is people do most of their research online. So what they do is they click around. Let's say you're looking for a 2014 Honda Accord. You want a Sport because it comes with the sunroof and the power seat and the wheels. And you click on it and you find one at this AutoNation for 18.7. Of course, you stop in a Frontier Motors and say, hey, I have not love to buy from you guys. I'll give you 18.7 because you got to meet their price. Now, I could do that, but I'd have to buy it at the auction, and the rating from 1 to 5 would end up being a 2.5, which means it's been smoked in, it's got scratches, it's been dinged up, the tires are chewed up a little bit, it's got one set of keys, the books are missing, it's just not nice and doesn't have a spare. That's the one for 18.7. Now, the other one with 10,000 miles on is absolutely flawless. It's perfect. It's a one-owner car with a clean history report, no accidents, doesn't have a nick on it, smells like it just came out of the factory. It's more expensive. Now, I do have to say $25,300 is extreme. So when you shop for a car, folks, always throw the cheapest ones away and always throw the most expensive ones away. Concentrate on the nicest ones in the middle. Here I just told you the average selling price of that car is about $22,000, and that's a fair price. But make sure you get the nicest one with the lowest miles. Now that's where we come in. If our price isn't less expensive, it's going to be the nicest one. We would love to buy your car. If you've got a car for sale, click on the link below, and I'll give you a bid on that vehicle as fast as possible. And I pride myself in paying more than average if it's a clean car, because we need these cars. We sell approximately 60 cars a week. So we need to go out and buy 60 cars a week. I'd rather buy them from private individuals like yourself. Go ahead and click on the link below and let me see what I can do for you. The nice thing about selling a car at Frontier Motors, folks, is that you don't have to worry about people coming over at night. I'm always nervous. Now, this is summertime right now, so it's still light out till 8 o'clock at night. But in the wintertime, sometimes it's dark a little bit after 4 o'clock. You put your car on Craigslist, you got people coming over in the dark to your house. I'm not so sure if that's the best thing to do. Why not just let Frontier Motors buy the car from you? I'll write you a check. You can cancel insurance, take your tag off, and you'll be done. And you'll be surprised at the dollar amount that you'll get for your car, because a lot of dealers, if you call a dealership, they're going to give you average black wholesale. Well, there's a difference sometimes between average black wholesale and clean wholesale of $2,000 to $3,000. That's a pretty big spread on some vehicles. And I'm going to pay you on the higher end of that if it's a clean vehicle. Now, I'm not going to make as much money if I give you good money, but I'd still love to have that car on the lot. It's got to be a deal for my prospective customer. That's the most important thing. That leads me a little bit into the consignment program that we have. Let's say I offer you $10,000 for your car. And you say, hey, Ivan, I'd really like to get about 11 for it, maybe 11.5. Bring me the car. Let me do an inspection on it. If the car passes inspection and it's ready to go on the lot, I might be able to give you that extra $1,000 or $1,500 by putting it on consignment. Now, the reason I would give you a little bit more money is because I don't have to tie up my cash. I don't have to buy the car until it's sold. So I'm in a position to be able to pay a little bit more for that particular car. So if you bring me the car, as long as it doesn't need anything, now if it needs a set of tires, I'm going to ask you to put tires on it, but I'll compensate you by paying extra for the vehicle if it has new tires on it when the vehicle is sold. It's a great way to move your car. Let me do the work. We'll put it on 15 different websites. We'll do all the work. We'll take a trade-in. We can offer financing. We can offer extended warranties. These are all things that as a private individual you're not going to be able to do when you put it on Craigslist. Not to mention the first 4 pages of Craigslist talk about the scams that you need to be aware of. So very, very I don't want to say frustrating is not the right word, but scary, I guess is the right word. When they tell you, hey, look out for this, 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 and this, before you even put the car on the ad. Automotive News just came out with an article on pickup trucks. And pickup trucks, if you don't know this, pickup trucks are the largest segment of sales in the U.S. The number one selling vehicle in the United States for the year so far is the Ford F-150. The number two vehicle for sale in the U.S. is a Chevrolet pickup truck. Number three is a Ram pickup truck. Can you believe that? I mean, it's $2.60 for a gallon of gas, which I consider still relatively high, which I just saw this morning in the news that they're talking about by the end of the year, the price of fuel or gas might be below $2 a gallon, which that's going to make those pickup truck sales even better. But they're saying right now that last week Ford introduced a limited version of the F-150 that will likely start at $60,000 and top the scales with all equipment at $70,000. Folks, did you hear that? Did you hear what I said? A F-150 is going to be $70,000. How do they sell them? Who's buying this stuff? That's crazy. The Nissan Titan SL top-of-the-line edition starts at $49,000. The Tundra starts at $50,000. The Ram Laramie starts at $62,000. The GMC Sierra starts at $64,000. And the F-150 Platinum is going to start at $60,000. That's without all of the equipment. You can add stuff to that to make it even more expensive. Don, do we have a call?
We do. Marty, welcome to News Talk 1370 WCOA. You're on the air with Ivan Streckel from Frontier Motors.
Hey, Marty, thanks for calling. How can we help you?
Very good. Thank y'all. I got a question for you, Ivan. Kind of been searching around, looking at cars and vehicles, thinking about picking up another one. I've drove my other ones for years and years and years. But what do you know about PT Cruisers? Is there something wrong with these particular vehicles? Because you find them all over the place, 06, 07s. They got fairly low miles. But it seems like to me they're trying to give them away at $2,500 a pop. And I'm just kind of curious about those things.
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question, Marty. Actually, if you're finding them for that type of price, and I guess it depends on the miles. Marty, when you're talking about $2,500 or $2,800, how many miles do they have on them?
Anywhere between 85,000 to 95,000 miles.
Yeah, that's a good buy. I actually buy a lot of PT Cruisers for the lot. One of the reasons because we have relatively low problems with them. The main thing that I look at on a PT Cruiser is that if I buy one with 80 to 100,000 miles on, that if the timing belt and the water pump hasn't been changed, it costs about $700 to do that. So you want to make sure that that's been changed, or you want to have the person that's selling it compensate you for the fact that you should do that because it can mess up the motor. I've had some problems with the earlier turbo models, but they're not all turbos, where they have they came out with a GT turbo like in 2003 and 4 that I've had some issues with. So I try to stay away from the turbos, but it's a very good selling car for Frontier Motors, and I like buying the PT Cruisers because, like you said, you can buy them for $2,500, and they're worth more than that. But I don't know what the deal is. And the other thing, Marty, also is the 4-door sedans sell quite a bit better than the convertibles. I try to stay away from the convertibles. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of 2-door versus 4-door. But that's a good car to buy. Very reliable as far as I'm concerned. A good transportation. And what else can you buy for $2,500? Nothing.
Well, that was my theory on it. I'm looking at them. They're all clean. I mean, neat as a pin. They got low miles. They've been taken care of. You find them all day long for $25 to $35. And I said, must be something mechanical here or something that I hadn't heard or don't know about. What's going on here? What are they not telling me?
Yeah, that's a good question. What you should do also Saturday morning, Bobby Likas has got a show. That'd be a good question for Bobby Likas' show to see how many are coming into his shop and what are some reoccurring problems that have. But from a sales perspective, Marty, I can let you know that I've had good luck with PT Cruisers. Of course, everything can break. I've had Lexuses break, which have the best reputation. So, but on a percentage basis, the PT Cruiser is a good little car. Thanks for calling the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Again, this is Ivan Streckel, owner of Frontier Motors, largest independent dealership on the Gulf Coast. We've been here for 19 years. And if you are watching this on TV right now or a pre-recorded version, click on the link below. If you want to sell your car, let us give you a fair bid on your car. We need to buy approximately 60 cars a week, so I'd love to buy a car from a private individual. Frontier Motors located at 230 Beverly Parkway. Been going there, going strong for 19 years now, doing the radio show and the Blab show, going on 19 years. Right after we opened, we started doing COA radio, which is 1370, the oldest radio station in Pensacola. And right after we did that, we started picking up Blab TV. So we've been with Blab going on 19 years now, and we've had really good luck with Blab. A lot of people will watch this show and say, hey, I never thought that I would need your help. I never thought I would need your advice, but I've been listening to the show for 15 years now, and my cars just stopped running. What do I do? Well, that's when we come in. The nice thing about Frontier Motors is how we do business. So I talk a little bit about the auto industry. I talk a little bit about how we can help you. But when it comes down to buying a car from an independent dealership, sometimes it can be very frustrating. There's a lot of that used car thing still going around. You remember the movie Used Cars kind of gave us a worse reputation than we already had. And there's still a lot of dealerships out there that do things the wrong way. What we try to do is do it the right way. And one of the things that we do, folks, is our 370 cars are unlocked every morning. That way, when you come on the lot and you want to look at cars, isn't it frustrating when you go on a dealer's lot? It's 95 degrees out, and you want to look at 5 or 6 cars, and they're all locked up. You want to sit in and see how they feel. And now that salesman's got to run back and forth 5 times to get the keys on 5 different cars. The reason they do that is they want you to feel obligated that this guy's working really, really hard. Now you got to buy a car. We don't play those games. That's why I encourage our salespeople to unlock every single car. You can shop at your leisure. And one of the things I kind of joke about a little bit with our customers is that we really don't sell you a car. When you go to a car dealer like a Lexus dealership, what are they going to tell you about their Lexus? It's the number one car in the world. You go across the street to a Toyota dealership, they're going to tell you the Toyota is the best car. And then the Chrysler dealership said, hey, we're doing really good. Consumer Reports rates our car really, really high. They all try to sell you their car. At Frontier Motors, being an independent dealership, we don't have to do that because we sell them all. We have the Lexus, the Honda, the Toyota, and then we have the Chrysler. We've got the Fiat. We've got them all lined up. So all you do is pick out a car. We're going to make it very easy when it comes to pricing. None of this back and forth 3-hour garbage. That's not going to happen at Frontier Motors. I'm telling you, here's the retail value. Here's what I'm asking. Here's the best I can do. Here's the value for your trade-in. Here's the total out-the-door price in writing. We give you this in writing so you can compare it. Some people aren't ready to buy right now. They might want to take their time. They might want to go to 3 or 4 different dealerships. They might want to go home and talk about it at the dinner table. They might want to just think about it. They're not really sure if they want to buy this particular car. So what we do is we take the pressure off by telling them, here's the page, here's the brochure on the car, here's the picture of the car. So you remember which car you're looking at. Sometimes you look at a bunch of different cars. Here's the pricing. We put it in writing, and then we say, think about it. Who does that? Nobody. Because every dealer, every morning, has a meeting of how they can get you to buy the car right then and there because they feel they only get one shot at you. I've got a little more faith in humanity than that. I think if I treat you really good, if I show you a great car, if I give you a good price, not have you fight for the price, I feel that after you think about it, even after you go to 4 or 5 other dealers, you're going to come back and buy the vehicle from Frontier Motors. And with 370 cars sitting there, there's got to be something there for you. But if there's not, I'll be more than happy to buy the car for you. I have so many customers that come in and say, hey, I like that car you got, Ivan, but I really don't want the black leather. I want that car with light leather. So guess what I do? I go out and buy that car for you with the light leather interior. And I buy it without a contract, without any money. Just your word and handshake that as long as the car passes inspection, it's the price that we talked about before we got there, that we've got a deal. Almost like ordering a new car, except you're ordering a used car. Now, why would you order a used car? Because Consumer Report says the first year depreciation is 27%. That's $9,180 the first year. The second year depreciation, if you kept the car for 2 years, it loses a total of 37%, which means in 2 years, the average person that bought a new car 2 years ago is losing $12,580. And if you keep that car for 4 years, the depreciation is 56%. In 4 years, a $34,000 car loses $19,000 of value. Why wouldn't you buy one that's 4 years old as long as it's in clean condition? No issues, non-smoker, no dings or dents, brand new tires. That car might last another 10 years. The average car on the road, from what I heard, is 11 years. Isn't that something? That means there's a lot of old cars out. Now, why? How can that happen? One reason is because the cars are lasting longer. They're putting the cars together better. They're putting longer warranties on them. They're putting better corrosion methods out there. They're making safer cars. And that's one of the reasons that people should upgrade, because every year the cars become safer and safer and safer. Blind spot intervention. Heck, they even got now. We have an Equus that we drove, Hyundai. It's got a seatbelt on it that if you go out of your lane, the seatbelt chokes you. It's like if you're driving at night and you fall asleep, it actually wakes you up. It's phenomenal. At first, it was very annoying because I have a tendency to drift. But the more I thought about it, isn't it a good idea to keep me from drifting?
Yes.
So I didn't turn it off. I left that on. Those are great safety features that you get on brand new cars. Again, this is Ivan Streckel, owner of Frontier Motors, largest independent dealer on the Gulf Coast. If you've got a car that you'd like to sell, as long as the car is in above average or very good condition, click on the link below, and I'd be more than happy to give you a buy bid on that particular car. Frontier Motors has been here on 19 years, and if you have any questions about which car is a good car, a bad car, Consumer Support's version of what they think a good car and a bad car is versus what I think it is. Sometimes it's exactly the same, sometimes completely different. If you want to know what a car should sell for, if you're going to sell it yourself, if you want to know what a car should sell for if you're going to buy it from a dealership, don't tell me the price. Just give me the ID number, let me run the history report. My computer will spit out a price that has a profit on it for me. So it's fair for me where I can make money, but low enough to where you can get that other dealership to drop the price. Some dealerships just market their cars up stupid. Some of them just raise the prices by $7,000 for no reason at all. So how do you know if it's a good price or a bad price? If you get on the Edmunds and the Kelly and the Blue Book, you might not be using the right books. That's where you call Frontier Motors for the real price, what I consider the real price. The real price being a price that I would feel that I would write you the check for. Now, if I'm willing to do that for you and help you, maybe the next time around, I'll get your business. And what's going to happen is if you decide to buy a brand new Lexus, a Lexus Mobile, you come to me first. I'll tell you what to pay. I have the new car cost guide right here. It tells me the invoice of the car. Not to say you're going to pay invoice for it, but we're going to help you determine what that should be and then give them a profit. And then I'm going to praise your trade and say, don't take any less than this. If they won't give you this, just sell it right to me. And that's how easy it is at Frontier Motors to help everybody in the Pensacola area make sure that if they're going to buy a car from anybody, that they're going to get a good deal and that they're not going to pay too much. And because of that, most of our customers are repeat and referrals. 70% of our customers are repeat and referrals. That's unheard of in the used car industry because you can buy a used car anywhere. Why would people come back to Frontier Motors? Because we're the guys that help you to make sure you get a fair shake no matter where you go. I don't care if it's a new car dealer, even though I would try to talk you out of that. That's one thing I would do is if I have a 14 or a 15 model in stock, like the Lexus that I have with 1,600 miles on it, and I can save you $5,000, it definitely would be worth it for you to make a decision at that point. 230 Beverly Parkway. We've been there for going on 19 years now. 370 cars in inventory. Check out our website. We've got all those cars with 31 detailed photographs. They all have pricing. If you need us to give you a price on your car, bring it by to 230 Beverly Parkway. Let me give you a buy bid on that car. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Auf Wiedersehen.
Guess what? You're in luck. Frontier Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we've got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead country.